Hello, Soul Diggers! Welcome to another episode with me, your host, Kim Mellor. And yes, I'm coming to you today live from Bali. I've been here for the past 4 weeks now, and it really does feel like home. It's like, oh, so many new friends and connections, and I just feel so aligned here. Like, it's effortless and easy, things are in flow. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that I had the courage to say yes to my dreams. And what really inspired me to do this podcast today was I was at the beach a couple of days ago, and I remember looking out to the sea, watching the sunset with my laptop open, just thinking, wow, this is pretty amazing. This is pretty amazing. And a photo popped up on my phone. And it was a time hop from a year ago. And I hardly recognized myself. I was sat on the floor with my laptop balanced on a metal bin. I had the clothes hanging on a clothes hanger. There was dirty washing on the floor. And I was like, that was my office a year ago. And look at me now. And I was like, wow, look what can happen in a year. And I just felt really inspired to do this podcast on that reflection, to remind you all that you are in control of your life. And you don't need to look at me and think it's impossible. The whole point of me doing this podcast is to say, if I can do this, you can do this. It's not impossible, it's probable. And it's possible if you actually want it to happen and you have the courage to say yes to your dreams and take action on that. You know, I never want you to look at me and say, oh my God, it's okay for her. Oh my God, maybe one day, then I'll do that. One day is not a day of the week. Today, now, this is the only moment that we have. And so I really want to inspire you with some words of wisdom as we come to the end of 2020. A very strange year for so many, a very sad year, lots of loss, lots of grieving, but ultimately, so many lessons and so much beauty in the depths and the darkness. And trust me, like a year from now, you'll be able to look back just like I did and go, wow, look at what I have created. Look at who I've become. But that's a choice. It's a choice between, do you want to be a victim or do you want to be a victor? Like, you can choose to be stuck in this world of fear and COVID, or you can choose not to be. And I chose not to be. Like, to me, COVID doesn't exist. You know, I was, as you know, in Ibiza for 10 weeks in the summer. I'm in Bali. Like, I've worn a mask twice going into a venue, and that's it. Like, honestly, what are you buying into? Are you buying into fear? Are you buying into love? And so it's a choice. And I really want you to choose this next few weeks as we come towards the end of the year to choose to see things differently, to choose to take ownership of your life and take control. You know, it's not always been that easy for me. And I don't ever want you to say, oh my gosh, Kim is special. The reason why I'm doing these podcasts is to say, if I can do this, you can do this too. And so through this vehicle of podcasting, I want my words to inspire you to take action on your dreams and just go for it, like so many have done for me. Like, if it wasn't for the people that I aspire to be like and people that I look up to, like, I probably wouldn't be living my life. And so I hope that I can be that person for you. And so how did I go from balancing my office on a metal bin with clothes around me, just not living my best life, to having the view of the beach every day, being able to work when I want, with who I want, wherever I want? The difference is I chose me. I chose my alignment. I decided that my happiness was more important than anything else, because if I'm going to be a light worker in this world, if I am going to really show people what's possible, I have to be I have to be living in integrity, living in alignment, living my life according to my values. But I'll be honest, like, I've not known who I was or what I wanted or how I wanted to live for so long. And so a year ago, I was in a relationship, which was the best thing that probably ever happened to me. I was in that relationship for 5 years. And when I started to go out with my partner, like we were so in love, like so obsessed and in love. And I just admired him so much. And I still do now. I'd say for a good 4.5 years, it was very intense. And the energy was just like nothing else. And I thought this was it. This is my life partner for the rest of my life. And then what happened within the relationship, without going into too much detail, because I'm in complete respect of my ex-partner, is I really got clear on who I was. And I started to embody me, my higher self, like the person I wanted to step into. I knew who I was, I knew what I wanted, I knew what I valued, I knew what I stood for, and I started to awaken to my potential. And it was towards the end of the relationship where I just started to feel that I wasn't living in alignment with me. I was sacrificing too much of me. I take full responsibility of what happened in the relationship without going into details, because if ever you start blaming and justifying other people, then you give your power away. Like, what percentage, even if it's 1%, can you take responsibility for within that relationship? And as soon as I started to take ownership for where I was and how I felt, I knew that it wasn't him. It wasn't anything outside of me that was making me feel resentment. It was my decisions. It was my boundaries that I let others cross. It was saying yes when I meant no. Yeah. I had no boundaries. I had no concept of self-worth or self-respect. I just thought I just had to say yes to everything, and then people would love me. And then what happens when you give everything away is you have nothing for yourself. So anyway, long story short, I decided to live in alignment with myself and, ended the relationship. And now, a year on, I'm so happy and grateful for him and that relationship, and I'll always have respect for him. And I hear so many people, a year on from their breakup, 2 years on from their breakup, still holding on to resentment and just giving their power away. And I want to encourage you that the rest of your life is waiting, guys. Like, if you are blaming and justifying things outside of you for where you are right now and how you feel, you've got no control. So I decided to take control of myself. And I was like, I'm not happy. I'm not prepared to live like this. And my self-love and my self-worth was literally just vibing so high. Like, all my work that I do with Gina, Gina Swire, my best friend, she's a self-love coach. I remember just having this immense sense of like, I'm a queen and I deserve the best. And I'm not willing to live a mediocre life. I want to live an incredible life. And that is outside of the relationship. So I knew I wasn't living aligned, and I knew it had to end. So yeah, the relationship ended, and it was the most scariest thing, because I'm sure if lots of you have been through a breakup, you'll have gone through these emotions of, oh my God, I don't want to leave because I'm so comfortable here and it's everything I've known for so long. But then also the fear of staying and not living this life and it always being a pipe dream. And then also like the fear of like the next steps. Like, oh my God, okay, so when I leave, oh my God, what am I going to do with all the furniture? What am I going to do with the clothes? What are people going to say to me? People are going to be asking me loads of questions. Like, I don't want to go through all of this. Oh my gosh, like what's going to happen to the children? And just thinking about the next steps was just overwhelming me, because I was like, I've got nowhere to live. What am I going to do? Oh my God, like I'm going to have to put everything in store. It was like, it was heavy. But I realized that feeling of messiness was easier than staying in the messiness of the relationship. So yeah, I sorted all of my stuff out and I just packed a suitcase and went to Bali for 3 weeks. And that's really where my transformation took itself to another level. I just knew there was another level to intimacy and depth and connection. And I really craved the connection and the depth in the relationship. And so I started to study Tantra. I did a tantra retreat as soon as I got to Bali. The first day I arrived, I was on a 5-day tantra retreat, which was eye-opening in all the ways. And I experienced lots of different experiences that awoken me to, oh my God, I remember this is what I've always known was there, but I couldn't access it. I couldn't access it in this 3D world. I had to step into this 5th dimensional world where it was around me all of the time, and it was normal to talk about all of this stuff. And that's a whole other podcast. I might do a podcast on what happened in my 3 weeks in Bali one day, but not quite ready for that yet. TMI, I'll call it. Yeah, and then I went to Bali, went to Australia to speak at a global conference, and then went to Mexico for an incentive trip, and then, yeah, got back to England and stuck in lockdown for however long, which was an interesting experience. And, you know, like I said, my heart goes out to anyone who's been affected by COVID and the loss and the grief and the pain and the struggle. You know, I don't envy anyone for going through that. And I also believe that it's always a choice. It's a choice on how you perceive things to be. And I just chose to see the COVID as an opportunity to grow and go inwards and to let go of the busyness and just be. Just be and go deep, because what else is there? Like, why are we living this superficial life? I mean, I'll speak for myself here. I lived a superficial life for so long, and there comes a point where we all crave depth, and this is where I think resentment and jealousy comes in, because we're not allowing ourselves to access that level of depth if we're always swimming in the shallow. So COVID really helped me to get clear and dig deep and really get rid of any triggers and wounds and heal from my relationship, because I wanted to go into my next relationship with my one completely pure and happy and whole and complete with who I am. Because when you meet someone, when you are happy and you are whole and you don't need them, that's when the magic happens. You know, when people start getting into relationships and they think, oh, that person's going to make me happy, or that person's going to give me love, then you're always going to be incomplete. And so you're always going to be kind of caressing each other's wounds and blaming, and there's going to be hidden resentment. And like, I don't want any of that. And I believe one of my purposes on this planet is to fall madly, deeply in love and meet my one and co-create together and just live this incredible life. Like, to me, a relationship that is just full of soul and depth and connection and love and intimacy and inspiration and pleasure is one of the greatest gifts as a human being. To feel love, to be in love, to give love. Oh, it's amazing. And I know it's on its way, and I'm sure I'll be doing a podcast in a few months' time of how I met my one, and I might help you to meet your one too. So that's what happened in the middle. You know, it was messy. It was very messy. But at the end of the day, like, I was willing to do whatever it took to live the best life that I could possibly live. And it was worth sacrificing and letting go of the things that I knew to step into the unknown. And often the unknown is a scary bit, right? But if you think about it, if you're always creating from the known, you're always going to get what you always get. And so in order to create something that you don't have, you have to create from this place of unknown. So it's being comfortable in the uncomfortableness and just trusting and knowing that it's all on its way. So yeah, so I'm so grateful to be surrounded by so many supportive people who've helped me through COVID and my breakup. And it's one of the most precious things in my life is the people that are around me. And I'm sure you've also got clear on what's important to you. You know, COVID's made me realize that what's really important is friends, family, connection, purpose, community. You know, it's all the things. And that's when I started my podcast too. And it's crazy because when I was misaligned in my relationship, which I didn't know until I've looked back, all the things that I just knew I wanted to do, like the podcast and the Bali and living my best, like it was all things I knew that were there, but they just weren't aligning because I wasn't aligned. So I never started my podcast. I never went to Bali for, a month. And I just wasn't doing most things I knew I wanted to do because I wasn't aligned in the relationship. And again, I'm taking ownership of this, because no one else can make me feel any other way than I do, because it's my responsibility, right? So as soon as I left that relationship, I went to Bali. I started my podcast, and things started to really pick up some pace and pick up some speed. And more than anything else, my self-love and my self-worth was starting to climb. And I feel like a queen. I am a 36-year-old woman who has an online business, who is working on herself every day. I'm financially independent. I don't need anyone for anything, but I want to meet him, and I want lots of other things. And yeah, it's not always been easy. Like I said, it's full of challenges and full of ups and full of downs. And my podcast has been one of the most incredible things, to get my voice out there, to be heard, to help you, to inspire you guys, and to let you know that it's possible for you. You can live your best life. And we've had 20,000 downloads. We've got over 100 5-star reviews, and it is not possible without every single one of you spreading this message. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But what does it take? What did it really take to go from being sat on my living room with my laptop on my metal bin to a year later being sat in Bali? Now, it's not the money and it's not the time, because I could have been living in Bali 4 years ago because I was earning enough from my online business. It wasn't the time because I could work whenever I wanted. The difference is I had the courage to stay in my lane and live my life and be completely aligned and go for it. When you have this realization that, oh my God, I know who I am, I know what I want, I know it's possible, it's really easy to just go for it and do it. And I believe that a lot of people aren't going after their dreams because they don't feel worthy of them. They don't feel worthy of having the things that other people have. And so what are you holding yourself back from? What are the things that you see other people doing and you're going, oh my God, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of them. Why are they in Bali? I'm stuck in my living room, and why this and why that and why that? And again, you've created your reality. We all create our own reality. And jealousy to me is actually a really positive thing, because it means that someone has something that you want. I don't get jealous of people that own animal farms, because I don't want to have an animal farm. I know it's not my desire. And desires are often your callings that you recognize as things that you want, but you're getting in the way of them. There's something that you're not doing or not letting go of that's stopping you from having those things. And like I said, all that I decided to do was say yes to myself and go for it. We went to a Rise and Shine party, which is like a sober rave, a couple of days ago. And they had like a fire burning ceremony at the end. And Comet, the girl that was running the bit by the fire burning, was saying, so write down like what life do you want to be living? What is your intention? Like, what is your dream? I just thought, I'm here now. I'm living it now. I'm living my dream. Yes, I'm going to have another level and new layers, and there's always expansion to happen. But right now, I love my life. I'm in Bali. I'm building my business. I'm helping people. I'm inspiring people. Like, I'm living my dream. Now, the question is, did it take me a year to get here? Or did it take me 36 years to get here? It's 36. Just because my life looks completely different from last year to this year doesn't mean it just took a year. It's taken 36 and a half years. 36 and a half years. Because from the day I was born, there were certain lessons that I needed to learn to be where I am today. And I want you to remember that where you are right now is perfect. It's perfect. And if you're listening to this podcast and something within you is like, oh my God, yes, that's so true. Oh my God, I really need to do that. This is your opportunity to go for it, to believe in yourself and go for it. Guys, it doesn't happen overnight. You've got to be willing to be uncomfortable, overcome challenges, and just fall madly, deeply in love with yourself and your life. And I promise you that when you love yourself, you will have all the courage. You won't even need courage to take action, because you'll just be like, so this is what I need to do. Like, this is it. Like, this is what I want. This is who I am. So the question isn't, what do I need to do to live my dream life? It's like, who do I need to become? Who do I need to become? What do I need to get clear on? And what do I need to say no to? And trust me, if you reflect on this past year and you choose what you're grateful for, you decide to let go of things that don't serve you, and you get clear on who you are and what you want, your life a year from now will be completely different. But you've had to learn the lessons and have the challenges and overcome the obstacles you've had to learn until this point. So please, please, please love where you are. Trust it's all perfect. And just know that you're listening to this for a reason. And my wish for you is that you can look back in 2021 and just be so proud of the life that you're living, because you said yes to you. So I want you to close your eyes for a minute. It's December 2021. And you're living your best life. Where are you? What do you see around you? What are you doing? Like, are you living your passion? Are you building your life on your terms? What does that feel like? How does it feel to maybe get your laptop out and work from the ocean? How does it feel to wake up every day and know that your soul is living in complete alignment with who you knew you always were? How does it feel knowing that you're becoming all that you can become? And looking back over the year, how proud of yourself are you? Look at the difference. Look at the challenges you've overcome. Look at the courage you had. Look at the decisions you decided to make. It's all been worth it. It's all been worth it. And you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having the courage to honor who you are, who you know you can become, and who you know you're destined to be. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it was. So it was. And that's one of my favorite things to do, is future self journaling, getting out a piece of paper and pen and just thinking, okay, so December 2021, where am I? Oh my gosh, getting into that feeling and that bliss state and that high vibe. And before you know it, you'll look up and you'll go, oh yeah, like a year ago, I was writing this down and here it is. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. I'm so grateful that you have chosen to join me and spend time with me today. I wanted to read out a 5-star review. We're nearly at our 111th target, which I'm so pumped about. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This is from Harj. She says, Kim, your podcasts hit differently. With each podcast, you bring such life and knowledge to the table. It's hard not to be inspired by you. I love listening to your podcast every day when I'm out for a walk, and it makes it the perfect combination. It's like switching off from the world and soaking in all the knowledge and feeding my soul. Thank you for being a part of my journey and showering enlightenment into my life. God bless always. Oh my goodness. Harsh, please do message me on Instagram. Yeah, and guys, please follow me over on the Soul Digger _ if you don't already follow the Soul Digger Instagram. We've got lots of exciting things happening in the next few weeks. And also just I love it when you reach out to me and share your light bulbs. So thank you so much for just giving me a part of you and a piece of you. And if there's anything that you feel you really need to work on, then please let me know and I will get a podcast written up especially for you. So thank you so much, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your week and I'll catch up with you soon.